What is up, guys? It's Raul TV, Team Alpha UL back again, and I'm knackered from yesterday. I went fishing yesterday to Bridlington, and I'm back. Oh, I'm back in the garage again. What we've got here, I've got a 2006 Ford Transit Connect. I think it's 2006 Ford Transit Connect. It's the 1.8 diesel, and I'm going to replace the alternator. Absolutely easy job. You can do it outside your house. You just jack you up a little bit, even if you don't have to even jack it up. You can just get underneath it, and there's only 2 bolts to take off, 1 belt to take off, auxiliary belt, and a little cover on the side, a few little wires. Happy days. Let's go. Right, first thing first, guys, we need to disconnect the battery lead. That's what I've done. Disconnect the battery leads. If it's coded radio, make sure you know the code of the radio. Also, you will most likely lose the code, and then the radio is not going to work, stereo is not going to work. But we have to disconnect the battery because we're messing about with the wiring of the electrical system. So make sure you disconnect the battery first, and then what we're going to do is we're going to send it up, take that cover off, take the cover off on the side, and we'll go from there. Alright, guys, we're going to go ahead and take this cover off. It's got 2 8mm bolts, which I've taken off, 1 there and 1 round the back. I'll point it out to you in the edit. Take that panel off, and ta-da! There it is, the alternator. And get your hand to it, get your hand to the bolt, the wires around the back, the belt is there, tensioner. Yep, dead easy. Right, the next job for us, guys, is there's the tensioner, this one. We're gonna slacken that. It's a good idea. What you should do, take a picture. Everybody's got camera phones and everything now. Take a picture of which way the belt goes on, or make a little diagram of which way the belt goes on, and then that way you're not messing about at the end, you know, trying to figure out which way it goes on. So what I'm going to do is slacken that. I think it's a 16mm socket head there. Just slacken it, and then we'll take the belt off. Okay, my bad, guys. It's not 16mm. It's a 15mm. You need a 15mm spanner to go on there, like that. I'm gonna have to do it, put the camera down and do it, because obviously I need 2 hands. 1 hand to take the belt off, 1 hand to use the spanner. And the thing is, we need to go clockwise to slacken. As you can see there, if I go clockwise, it's slackening, the belt's slackening, the tension's going off the belt. So what we need to do is go clockwise, take the belt off, and we'll go from there. Okay, guys, now that the belt is off, what we're going to do now is we're going to go around to this side. Little 10mm wire there, the live wire. We're going to take that off, and hopefully that should be that for the wiring. There's only 1 wire there. We're going to take that off, and there's a plug on the side here. We're going to take that off as well. So this plug, it's a push-on plug kind of thing. You see, they can take it off now or take it off when the alternator's off. I would just suggest you take it off now, because when you take the alternator off, when it's swinging, you might just, you know, take all the wiring off with it. So it just, you push it down on the side, push it, and then pull out the plug on the side, and that little 10mm nut there on that wire. Alright, guys, the wire is off here, that 10mm. The plug, I can't really get my hand onto that, so if you can get your hand onto it properly and then push it and then take it off, you can do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take them 2 bolts off, the ones that hold the alternator, this one and this one. Take them 2 bolts off, 10mm, and then obviously it'll come down a little bit, and then I can get my hand to the plug. I did recommend you don't do it that way, but if you are doing it that way, make sure you hold the alternator. I think that will be the easiest way. Right, guys, let's go take this off and take that one off. Right, guys, now that both bolts are off, this one's not coming off, but I don't think we need to take that off totally, because I think it's on like a cutout kind of thing, so that should pry off. If it doesn't, then obviously we'll have to drop the engine down a little bit. But anyway, we'll get to that later. What we're going to do now is we're going to get a pry bar or a flat screwdriver, give it a little pry. That should come straight down. Right, and there we have it, guys. The alternator is off. You don't even need to take both bolts off. As you can see there, it's got cutouts. Just slacken them about 90% of the way, and then the alternator will just come straight out. The bottom one, take the bottom one straight off. The top one, obviously you can't get it out because the chassis comes in the way. So what you do is, as you can see there, it's got a cutout there, right? And all you do is you just slacken the bolt and then pry the alternator out. Wires are off there. let's get the new one on. Guys, there's the alternator. The second-hand one, he's gone for a second-hand one, but I'm not too fussed because it's a dead easy job and, you know, no problem. These little things here, they'll be pushed out when you get the second-hand one. If you get a new one, it might be pushed in. Just tap them in so that way the alternator will go on nice and easy. Another one on the bottom, another one on top, where the bolt basically goes in through here into there. So what we do is we just knock them in. You'll see it'll be sticking out, knock it in, and then yeah, that alternator will just fly straight in. We'll just fit it in reverse order, nothing to it. Alright guys, that's it. The alternator is back on. The wire is back on the back. The plug is back on as well. Got this cover on. Alternator belt, the auxiliary belt's back on. Everything's on. Like I mentioned, it's a 10 minutes job. 2 bolts, 2 wires, 1 wiring plug, 1 wire, 1 wiring plug, and the belt off, and that's it. I'm going to start it up, check it on the battery tester if it's charging, and that's it. Happy days.